So I cannot emphasize enough how stressful the process from landing, going through the airport and checking in at hotel quarantine is. And this is my second time coming to quarantine in South Korea. Like, I've done this before. I know what to expect. You know, no matter how prepared you are, it's still a bit of a shock. I'm not going to go through the exact details of what happens when you land at the airport. I think there are plenty of other videos that go through that in really great amount of detail. But if I will say one thing when it comes to the airport process, make note somewhere of your passport number, your flight number, and your seat number, and a pen. Like, basic things you're going to need, because you're just going to be filling multiple forms out. I think it's pretty much been acknowledged that there are 8 hotels designated for incoming passengers to quarantine. Back in January, I was in the Grand Hyatt, and now in August, I'm in Ramada Yongin. Very contrasting experiences. Just a quick note about quarantine exemption. That is possible. I think only for those that have family in Korea or those that are intending to stay for a long time, like they have a long residence visa. For me, because I'm on a short-term work visa, I just don't qualify for the exemption. So I was always going to have to stay in hotel quarantine again. Now, there is no doubt in my mind that I was totally fine doing another 14-day solitary confinement experience based on the fact that my first experience, the hotel room, was so nice. It was the Grand Hyatt. It's a good hotel, and my room was really big and lovely. The view wasn't so great, but the food was very good. This place is fine. It's a smaller room, and that does have an impact on kind of, well, the whole thing, you know, not having as much space to move around, but at least the view is better. It's a nicer view. The immediate first difference from first quarantine to second quarantine is the cleanliness. Like, this room just didn't feel as clean. Maybe because there's a window and it's just there's a layer of dust that wouldn't have been in the previous place, so I couldn't open the window in. Yeah, so I'm definitely glad I brought the Dettol wipes and just went around the entire room basically before I did anything. The bed sheets clean enough. It's not a hotel room. It's not regularly cleaned in that way. Also, the floor is pretty dirty, so I'm always going to wear these. I already spilled something on them. Yeah, just don't take a closer look, and for goodness sake, do not look underneath the bed. Additionally, this room is a mosquito graveyard. That is a juicy bugger. Not by me, by the previous person in this room. And there's another one up here as well. Quick note on my shower. There's no shower curtain, so as you can imagine, water just gets everywhere. So this meal is actually one of the better ones because the food in the Ramada is atrocious. Well, it's not atrocious, but it's the comparison. I think because I had really good food in the Grand Hyatt, that I know what the possibilities of quarantine food is. I'm pretty sure the main problem with the food is that it's all very kind of greasy, like it's a lot of deep fried stuff and lots of meat and lots of rice, and there's hardly many vegetables. And it might look really good because it's a kind of variation of all these different dishes. I think if you just compare it to the Western kind of quarantine dishes, it's like a sandwich and a packet of crisps. So of course the Korean dishes just look better. What I maybe could have done is opted for the vegetarian option. At the very beginning at check-in, you have a choice. It just shows regular, but it's a risk. You know, you don't really know what you're going to get. You don't know, there's no guarantee that it's going to be any better. Last time I didn't do any laundry, but this time I just felt the need to, particularly when you're trying to cut down on clothes like I am. And so you do need to be washing clothes regularly. So yeah, it ended up being quite a therapeutic thing to do. Coming into it, having known what it's going to be like, I got asked by a friend, what have you done differently? How have you prepared? It kind of took me aback actually, because I hadn't really thought about it. And then I realised I knew that I suffer from jet lag, so I'm going to schedule more work calls or meetings or calls with family and friends at a time that I know that I'm tempted to sleep, so I'm being forced to stay awake. That's not really worked so far. It's just made me more groggy, to be honest. Definitely bought more snacks from home. And the other thing is exercise. I definitely wanted to kind of keep moving a bit more this time. It's not something I've like scheduled in, but I've just like forced myself to do more walks around the room, do yoga and stretches and things like that. Particularly because this bed is not the most comfortable, because I'm waking up with like my entire back just aching. Oh my god, I think I'm just getting old. That must be it. I guess here. It's gotta be here. So the regular evening routine is to mask up. I keep it here, mask up, and then take the trash out. Hello, so it's a grey, rainy day. Still kind of humid, but pretty miserable, I suppose. So let's see what is for lunch today. So, let's see. I've got soup, rice. It's got normal. Let me take that off. Ta-da! Okay, so we've got rice. It looks like some kind of rice cake soup. Ooh, tempura, lovely. Tofu, a sort of squid dish, and then pickled sides and mushroom. So yeah, this looks like a pretty good, one of the better meals. Another thing to mention is that most of the food comes cold, but this is like lukewarm. Kind of impressed. But it does feel a bit nerve-wracking eating something like fish, for example, when you know it's just cold and it's been sitting out in a corridor for goodness knows how long. This would be so much better hot, actually. Oh my god, it's not squid. It's not squid at all. It's crab. Holy shit. Oh god, that makes me feel so weird. I do not wish to eat this for the reasons I just said. That is crab leg and body. It looks delicious, and normally I would eat that, but yeah, no. To get over jet lag, which for me it takes a longer time to get over it, but also I have other kind of symptoms. I guess I feel quite ill. Like I just don't feel great. I don't feel my 100% me. I'm so tired, and it's like halfway through. Why am I still jet lagged? Actually, I got my second vaccine like the day before I flew, so that's probably why this time is particularly bad, because I've got the vaccine side effects, but also double vaxxed, baby. Yeah, totally worth it. What's definitely been consistently the same is lack of communication from getting off the bus and checking in. Everyone's sort of staring at each other like, tell us what to do. Still, 6 months later, they tell you to download one app at the airport, and then you get to the hotel and they tell you to delete that and download another. Still, at least in the Grand Hyatt, there was a guy, he sat you down and was like, right, there's no leaving that door, no running around. Every day you've got to check your temperature, da-da-da-da-da. Here, there was no sitting down being told, like, this is what you can and can't do, this is exactly what's going to happen. There's lots of literature, of course, you know, all these sorts of things. And it was sort of explained, but it wasn't really this time. Again, I was fine because I knew the process, but I was just thinking about the people next to me, and I thought, how are they going to know? Really great case in point is that the other day there were people outside chatting in the corridor. If there'd been that pep talk at the beginning, like, you will be deported if you leave your room, that wouldn't have happened. I mean, I don't know what happened to them. I think they got scolding and then have gone back into their rooms. There's less announcements in this one.
경리기간 동안 다른 입소자들을 위한 배려와 협조 부탁드립니다.
There's my little announcer speaker box there. They went on for fucking ages in the last place. And here they only really go off at 10 a.m. for like 4 minutes. And I can hear lunch being put out the door. That's another thing. In the last place, they told you when you could open the door. Hold that thought, I'm just gonna go get lunch. Oh, and the price is the same. Interestingly, I know some hotels do vary in cost, but for me, these two hotels, Ramada and Grand Hyatt, exactly the same price. Something I really wish they did was prep us on when the final day PCR test is actually going to be. It sometimes says like a couple days before, 3 or 4 days before. But when exactly is that going to be? Like, I want to be ready, showered, dressed, not groggy as fuck. So the thing that I feared would happen totally happened. Knock on the door just shortly after breakfast had been delivered, and there I am in pajamas, not showered, with some guy in a hazmat suit ready to stick a swab up my nose. Because yeah, it's something to worry about. How the Koreans go up the nose is very uncomfortable. What's just as overwhelming as checking in is the checkout. Again, like you just need to be told what to do. Sometimes that doesn't quite happen. Oh hi, sorry to bother, but I was wondering if I could ask for more coffee cups for room 1215. Thank you. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye. I literally regularly make phone calls for a living. I don't know why that was so stressful. Coffee cups arrived. So tomorrow is my last full day in quarantine. I am very excited to be leaving, obviously, but I guess my lesson here is just to not assume things will be fine, because it has been really tough. I'm a natural hermit. I like spending time by myself, just not 14 days, but everything's all right. Almost there. So yeah, okay, that's it. I'm gonna stop talking. Bye.